Good afternoon, dear students. Today we are going to discuss about Oliver Goldsmith's Sea Stops to Conquer. This play has been given in BA third semester. Before discussing about the play, we will know about Oliver Goldsmith. Oliver Goldsmith, he was born on 10th November 1729 and died on 4th April 1774. He was an Anglo-Irish novelist, playwright, and poet. His famous works were The Vicar of Wakefield, The Deserted Village, The Good-Natured Man, She Stoops to Conquer. Now we will focus upon She Stoops to Conquer, which was written by Oliver Goldsmith. The play was at first published in 1771 and it was premiered in 1773. It belongs to literary period Georgian comedy. It will come in comedy of manners. The setting of the play is a small town in the English countryside during the Georgian era in 18th century. It is a writer like John O'Keefe wrote a loose sequel to Lumpkin in Town. The play has been adapted into a film several times, including in 1940s and 1923. The play is notable for being the origin of the common English phrase, "Ask me no questions and I shall tell you no lies." Now we will focus upon the important characters of the play. The most important character of the play is Mr. Hardcastle and Mrs. Hardcastle. Kate, Tony Lumpkin, Kate Hardcastle, Constance Neville. These are the important characters of the play. Now we will discuss about the first character, Mr. Hardcastle. Mr. Hardcastle is the father of Kate Hardcastle. He is an eccentric but fair minded man. He is an old fashioned gentleman who owns an old house in the countryside. Hardcastle dislikes modern trends. He fought in the War of Spanish Succession and likes to tell stories of his time during the war. Now we will focus upon another character, Mrs. Hardcastle. She is wife to Mr. Hardcastle and mother to Tony Lumpkin. Mrs. Hardcastle is a corrupt and eccentric character. She is greedy, sentimental, and manipulated woman. Mrs. Hardcastle has lived all her life in the countryside but is always with what is fashionable in the city. Now, next character is Kate Hardcastle. She is daughter to Mr. and Mrs. Hardcastle. She possessed an intelligent mind. She is good humored, sensible, and beautiful young woman. Kate is confident in her own merits. She is attached to her father. Another character is Miss Constance Neville. She is niece of Mrs. Hardcastle. After her father's death, Mrs. Hardcastle takes care of her. And the another character who is Hastings, he intends to court or marriage with her. Another character is Charles Marlowe. He is an aristocratic, well-educated, and handsome young man. Marlowe is sophisticated and has traveled the world. And around working class women, Marlowe is a lecherous rogue, but around those of an upper class card, he is a nervous, bumbling fool. It is the characteristic of Marlowe. Marlowe is rude to Mr. Hardcastle, whom Marlowe believes to be an innkeeper because in the beginning they are confused. They are not familiar with the Hardcastle family. Now, another character is George Hastings. He is friend of Charles Marlowe and the admirer of Miss Constance Neville. Hastings is an educated man who cares deeply about Constance with the intention of failing to France with her. Now we will focus upon the summary of the play. The play starts with a prologue. In Act First, the play opens at the home of Mr. Hardcastle, a wealthy merchant, and his wife, Mrs. Hardcastle. Their daughter, Kate Millett, is a smart and witty young woman who is being courted by Marlowe, the son of a wealthy aristocrat. However, Marlowe is shy and awkward around women of his own social class, and Kate is forced to stoop to conquer him by pretending to be a servant girl to get his attention. Meanwhile, Tony Lumpkin, the Hardcastle's stepson, plays tricks and causes chaos in the household. The act ends with Kate and Marlowe meeting in disguise and Kate beginning to win Marlowe's heart. In Act Second, Kate continues to woo Marlowe while disguised as a servant girl, and he begins to fall for her charms. Meanwhile, Tony Lumpkin antics cause more chaos, and he convinces Marlowe that the Hardcastle's home is an inn, leading to a serious series of misunderstandings. Mrs. Hardcastle tries to promote the idea of Marlowe marrying her daughter, but he thinks Kate is a servant and refuses. In Act Third, it begins with Hardcastle and Kate comparing their different compressions of Marlowe. He expresses shock at Marlowe's boldness while she finds him incredibly shy. Kate convinces her father that they should give Marlowe another chance to see what is his true character. Tony presents Hastings with a fox box containing Constance jewels, which he stole from his mother's drawers. Kate pretends to be barmaid and judges Marlowe. In Act 4, it begins with Constance and Hastings planning their elopement. Constance tells Hastings that she has heard Sir Charles Marlowe will soon be arriving, and Hastings tells Constance that he has entrusted her box of jewels to Marlowe to keep them safe. They both exit. Marlowe hands over the box to Mrs. Hastings. Marlowe realizes the truth that this house is not an inn. In Act 5th, Hardcastle and the newly arrived Sir Charles laugh over Marlowe's having mistaken the home for an inn. Hardcastle says that he saw Marlowe take Kate's hand and he thinks that they will marry. Marlowe enters and formally apologizes to Hardcastle. Hardcastle says it doesn't matter since Marlowe and Kate will soon marry, but Marlowe denies having feelings for Kate. When Hardcastle refuses to believe him, Marlowe storms out. Kate enters and arouses the two fathers that Marlowe likes her. She tells the two fathers to hide behind a screen in half an hour to see proof of Marlowe's feelings. Kate proves it using screen. Mr. Hardcastle reveals the truth. Tony receives his inheritance. Everyone except Mrs. Hardcastle is thrilled that the two young couples, Hastings and Constance and Marlowe and Kate, will marry. This is the end of the story, and finally we have seen that story ends happily.